Captivating is one word to describe the Golden State Warriors 2015-2016 season, but when Stephen Curry goes down with yet another injury, aside from the ankle, what looks to be sprained MCL, MRIs are still being in process, they're being taken today. We'll make sure in the comments section when we get a full report, we'll update you guys with a note saying this was the full extent of the injury, but I don't think it's as light as a bone bruise. I don't think it's as bad as a MCL tear.
That when it comes to knee injuries, it's the scariest thing ever for any athlete in the world. And it's the scariest thing ever for the Golden State fans. I love when they pan the camera around and people are just like every time you see Steph Curry in any sort of adverse situation or compromised situation, people are freaking out because what makes this series and the NBA, I think, even more entertaining this season is that it showcases a small weakness. Not a small weakness, a big weakness for Golden State is that yeah, against Houston, they can undoubtedly beat them without Steph Curry. They've proven that, but they've still proven that they can lose to a team who are, I wouldn't say, anywhere near of the best caliber in the NBA without Steph Curry. And that Klay Thompson, despite the fact that he's an unbelievable shooter, can pick up that slack. Draymond Green does everything he can to pick up the slack, but it makes them beatable. It makes them vulnerable, which is something I never thought I would say this season. And I don't want them to have to struggle that way through an injury. I would like to have seen a team kind of outcoach them and outplay them the way that the Spurs did previously.
Look, we said all year long, without a major injury, the Warriors can get this record. Yeah. Well, they got the record. Now they have a bigger problem on their hands because would they rather be 51-31 at the end of the season and have a healthy Steph Curry? Of course. But I don't think it was the season that has caused Steph Curry's injury. Sometimes injuries happen. Obviously, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, these things happen. Not at least that gruesome, but still. So we'll find out more about what's going to happen with Steph Curry. But as for the Warriors, you're right. Draymond Green is just, I know, in the one game in this series where he had only 6 points and 3 rebounds, and he is still the ability to really run the floor. And he's really, like, Sean Livingston is a capable point guard, but Draymond Green, the heart and soul of that team on both ends, his impact offensively and defensively. And, of course, the unsung hero in this case, Andre Iguodala continues to show that age is not a factor with him. I mean, he shot lights out. Without Steph Curry, the team hit 21 three-pointers. That's scary. That's terrifying for any team. Look, if the Warriors hit 21 three-pointers in any game again, guess what? It doesn't matter if you're the Spurs, Clippers, Blazers, Thunder. You're going to win that game. Yeah. But can you win a 7-game series without Stephen Curry? Could you beat the Clippers without Stephen Curry? I don't think you can in 7 games. The Spurs, I don't think you can. The Thunder. But it's going to create this dynamic that if this Warriors team is 95-96 Bulls, great. Remember, before that, you had Jordan not on that team. And we saw what the Bulls were without them, and they went far. Pippen did everything he could. But again, Pippen's a 2. Not a number 2 as in a shooting guard. Pippen is a number 2, the Robin to Jordan's Batman. And that's what Draymond and Klay are. They don't have their bat. They don't have a guy to throw the ball to that they know it's going to go in on the last shot. Klay's capable of making it. Draymond's, even though it's an ugly-looking shot, is capable of making it. Andre, Harrison Barnes, all these guys. But Steph Curry will make it. Yeah. Just like all the greats on all of their teams. Kevin Durant wants that shot. He's going to make it. Chris Paul, if he wants that shot, he's going to make it. I know Dan's going to say if Blake gets it, he's totally going to airball it. It's true. Damian Lillard, he wants that shot, he's going to make it. And that's what Steph Curry, on top of every other skill that he has in this game, that's one of the biggest ones is he's your closer. Yeah. He's going to close out games.
The one thing that I wanted to highlight on this now is it's not even like how severe the injury is at the moment, because it might not even be severe. It might just be coming back.
Is a bone bruise?
Any athlete, when you have back-to-back injuries, whether it's an ankle injury or a knee injury, it almost seems like the gods are not in his favour at the moment. The injury gods are frowning over him. You've been too good this season. We're going to have to try and even the playing field at the moment. And it's going to pose a question as to, even if he does come back and he is allowed to play, how much is it going to affect him on the court? I don't know if it will because he's such a professional player, but someone like this, these are injuries that you wish upon even your biggest men who don't move as freely as Steph Curry. But we talk about how efficient and how quick his cuts are, how he's 1 second is all he needs to get to basically get a step away from his opponent. Those things have wear and tear on your knees and your ankles. And I mean, I think that for Golden State, it's all about, all right, do we need to think from a team as a whole? Do we take up this role as a more deep squad? And you see Iguodala coming in as probably the most clutch 6th man. I just found out that you told me about that word. But he's stepping into that role. And he's playing so well that I think you're going to have to rely on them until you're absolutely sure that Steph Curry's 100%.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what it comes down to is like you have to start questioning, like, what if you're 90%? Just to put the pressure on there. You just don't know. And especially with the injuries, it gets scary because, look, if he's probably out against the Rockets, you have to assume at this point he's not playing the Rockets, even if there's a Game 6.
Yeah.
Even if there's a Game 7, although obviously the goal right now, come home, close out in 5. And then what happens against the Clippers/Blazers or Thunder/Spurs when it gets to that point, if they get to that far. We'll see what happens. But in terms of the rest of the playoffs, there's a lot. Real quick, though, Draymond Green absolutely ripped into a reporter for the perfect reasons. There's no such thing as stupid questions. There's just stupid people, and this guy's a stupid reporter because he kept trying to bait Draymond Green into saying, there's a flood problem in Houston. There's actually people who have lost their homes, and I think there's been a couple casualties, unfortunately, but nothing. Obviously, every life matters in that situation. But the reporter asked Draymond Green, you hit so many threes tonight. It's like, but there was a flood. And then the other game, there wasn't a flood, and you didn't hit as many threes. And he's like, I know what you're trying to do. Take a look.
Okay, Draymond, here's an interesting question. So last year you visit us. Game 3, there's no flood. You win. Game 4, there was flood. You lose. And this year you visit us. Game 3, there's a flood. You win. Game 4, there's no flood. Game 3, there's flood. You lose. Game 4, there's no flood. You win.
Brother,
so
you asked me about the flood in practice the other day. And I said I pray for the city of Houston because you don't want to see anyone go through that. I feel like you keep trying to get at like us hitting threes or something, and you're trying to get a controversial statement out of me, but you're not, because I feel sorry for the people of Houston. People are losing their homes, losing their cars, losing their lives, losing loved ones, and you're trying to get a controversial statement out of me about the threes we're hitting. I know what you're getting at, but you're not getting that out of me. It sucks. If I was from Houston, I'd do anything I can to help the city out. And I'm sure some of those guys are going to do what they can to help the city out. And you saw a donation the other night. It sucks. Stop trying to do that. That's not cool, man. You keep asking me the same question about this flood. These people are losing their lives, bro. Losing their homes. Don't ask me that no more, because it ain't cool. And you're not getting the statement you want out of me. That's not cool, man. Stop doing that.
Again, no such thing as stupid questions, just stupid people. I'll leave it at that with that reporter. Don't let that guy back into the press conference. It's ridiculous that you'd make that point. And look, maybe Draymond overreacted. Maybe I'm overreacting. Stupid comparison to make in the first place. Yes. All right, so we continue because, in general, the NBA playoffs are getting better because last weekend I was sitting there going like, oh, I love the NBA, but even this isn't even dramatic television. Yeah. This weekend, a little bit different. Isaiah Thomas carries the Celtics. Well, so the playoffs don't start till you lose on your home court.
I know.
It's a 2-2 series. We go back to Atlanta.
And I was waiting for this. This is why we stated that the Celtics were definitely a team to look out for in terms of upsetting a higher seed.
Right.
And I'll give credit to Dana White. I know he never thought he'd make his way again into an NBA game, but with all the shite that's going on amidst McGregor, he was actually tweeting about the Celtics most of the time and how proud he was of that team. And Isaiah Thomas went off an unbelievable shot, moving away. He almost was behind the basket when he made that final shot.
Guy's awesome.
He's unbelievable.
Isaiah Thomas, Jared Sullinger, it's not as serious. Bill Simmons was tweeting that out. He's kind of right. I'm a little surprised what happened with him. Without Avery Bradley, that's such a dire part to that team. It's amazing that they're playing well and be able to shoot the ball. But again, it's a 2-2 series. And Paul Millsap, holy effing hell, man. 42 points. 42 points.
Who has that?
On the road in the playoffs. That's big man points, man.
The Cavs look unstoppable.
Yeah. That's not getting talked about enough because they swept the Pistons, and 100-98 was the Game 4 final score. But things are clicking. Well, it's definitely a little bit of an FU from LeBron to the world because it's like, yeah, you don't think we're going to get back to the finals? They're definitely getting back.
But it's not just the fact that LeBron James is playing well. It's Kevin Love is showcasing why they needed him. And it just poses a question: is like, how much closer would it have been last season if you have Love, if you have Kyrie? Because these guys, they're clicking at the right time. And this is what I always say in any sport. It's a marathon, especially. It's a long marathon in the NBA. It is a London marathon of marathons. And they weren't playing as well throughout the season. There was a few ups and downs. There was moments in there where they had to face adversity.
We covered it all from here to down here.
Exactly. But then when it comes, and you're so right, when it comes to the positives, people are like, well, they're supposed to do that. But when they're playing shit, the Cavs are falling apart. LeBron's moving. He's not following them on social media. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, watch out, man, because they'll get the winner of the Hawks Celtics, which I think they could run.
It's going to be a great game.
I would like to see it at least make it a little more interesting. Let's see a 5 or 6 game series in that round. And lastly, the Raptors. We'll get to the Clippers too. But that's game 4 hasn't happened yet. So unless they even up the series, Clippers need to win, obviously, in Portland. Then they go back home, close out the series, done. 5-game series. Dan's happy. We're happy. Maybe we get to go to the Warriors series. How great of Dan to take us there. But also, if they don't, and Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum shoot 95% from the field, it's an exaggeration. I have to say it because sometimes they yell at me. They say they didn't shoot 95% from the field, Jason. No, they shot like 53% though. So if they go off for 60-something points, like you can't really stop that. But not Blake's fault.
It is Blake's fault.
Can we just run the Jamie Foxx? It's not my fault. No, it actually is Blake's fault in that game. All right, so real quick, the Raptors. This is why Raptors fans want to rip their hair out, because DeMar DeRozan, I think I found his player comp. I don't know why it took this long. It's J.R. Smith. His shot selection at times is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
This isn't NBA 2K. DeMar DeRozan is like us in NBA 2K, and I mean that at times you're like, wow, that's like a great pass, or that's the right shot that you took, and it went in. You deserve those points. But I'd say 60% of the time, so a little bit more, a little more than half. It's, wow, you're really bad at NBA 2K.
Wow, Jason's taking it from 40 deep.
Kyle Lowry's been playing great. Jonas Valanciunas has been playing great. DeMar DeRozan, shot selection, awful. The Raptors are a better team all around than the Pacers. Paul George, Yamahimi, and this team is playing well. Miles Turner's dunking on people, and it's great. And no disrespect to Paul George, he's a great player. And no disrespect to Frank Vogel, he's a great coach. But you're just getting out-coached. Dwayne Casey should be fired. Yeah. That's it. It's Casey and DeRozan, because everybody else on that team is doing their job, but you keep dropping games. And now you're in a 2-2 series. This should have been a clean sweep, but you dropped the game at home, which is a huge problem. And this is what happens. Now you're going back to Toronto with an even series for Game 5. Oh, my God. If you can't get out of this round, I don't know what to do. If the Clippers and Raptors lose this round, I don't know. What do we do, Dan? We wrap it up.
We wrap it up. We wrap up the clip.
Comment below with who you think is going to make it out of the first round. A couple good series. A couple 2-2s. Amir Nakui's looking at us.
Oh,
at Francis_Maxwell, at Francis Maxwell, host at JasonRuber91 on the Twitter and Instagram, and at TYT Sports over on Facebook. Going to be talking about Gennady Golovkin on Facebook Live later. Come check it out.
GGG.